Hi, my name is Mary Young. I'm a visual artist and textile designer. I'm here at Dixon School working under a program called Mentoring the Masters. And in this program, we are teaching young students how to become future entrepreneurs. My role today and yesterday, I'm doing a 3-day workshop to teach students how to design t-shirts. And hopefully they're the 6th graders. Next year, they will be in 7th grade, and they can continue to learn how to design more apparel. One of the goals of this program is to have the students eventually become entrepreneurs so that they can become vendors in the Cultural Connections annual event. My studio practice involves using symbols and signs from different cultures and to create a symbolic language in an urban environment. Usually I use symbolism from Ghana, West Africa, using the Adinkra, but now I've expanded to use other cultures. I've created some banners from India and also from China. One of the things that I have always expressed throughout my life is to create beautiful works of fabric that can be enjoyed by the world. I have attended, in terms of my education, it involves the School of the Art Institute. Before coming to the School of the Art Institute, back in the day, they were only allowing transfer students to be in. So I'm kind of, I guess you can say, naming myself, giving myself a number, but let's not think about numbers. It's really, age is not a number. So prior to that, I was going to Kennedy King College and focusing and majoring in psychology. So I am here today to do part 2 with the students so that now they can begin designing their t-shirts. They've learned some basic techniques in terms of Japanese shibori. Of course, we know it as tie-dye here in America, but we want to make sure that the students are clear about their role and what they're expected to do. What we're going to do today is strictly design your t-shirts. So today you're going to be the fashion designer. And you're going to spend the entire time designing your special one-of-a-kind t-shirt that no one else has but you. You can decide to keep it, you can decide to sell it, but if you sell it, you won't have it of your own, right? No. And what are you going to tell people if they say, oh, I want a t-shirt like that? What will you tell them?
Come next year.
No.
Come next year.
No, that's a sale. You want to tell them, I will design you a t-shirt like this. No. No.
Then you have to tell someone else that you'll make it for them or something?
Yeah, you'd have to design it. They would have to provide the t-shirt, yes.
How will we get the ink, the indigo?
I'll have to come back again next year.
Oh, God.
And we'll do it again. You think you want to do this again next year?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
What do you mean, maybe? I thought you were the one that wanted to make some money. Okay, so what I want you to do is look around at what you have created. It looked different yesterday because everything was wet. So how do you think you all did? Good. Well, I think you all did great. So let's give yourselves a good hand. Yes. Because what you have learned how to do is what kind of technique? What do we call it?
Shibori.
Shibori, right. Shibori. So now we're going to get a t-shirt. So we have medium, large, and extra large. What size?
Medium.
Medium? Okay. So you have, let's see, what time is it? Okay, it's almost 4 o'clock. It's 5 minutes to 4. You have exactly 1 hour to work on designing your t-shirt.
That's a very long time.
That is a long time. Because when you stop at 5 o'clock, you're going to clean up because you all left this place a mess yesterday. And guess who cleaned up?
Jackson?
No.
Jackson
Yes.
Everyone else.
No, it was just me.
Oh, I
It was just me. That's okay, but that's what we do as artists. Because what happened, it rained overnight and it rained on all of the tables.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why your paper is wet.
No wonder my paper is like.
That's why your paper is all wrinkly. So now what I want you to do is go and grab your materials, your tools,
I need like 60 rolling.
and decide what your t-shirt is going to look like. Oh, this is so great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but we got one bonus person over here.
The Rashi is a technique that gives, it looks like water. And the other technique is called kumo. And the kumo is twist and bind. And that's when you're putting an object in the fabric and then you're twisting it and binding it with a rubber band. And basically what you're doing is creating a negative and positive space. And what you're doing with the wood blocks will give you a repeat pattern. So if you want to have the same consistent repeat pattern, then you're going to do the wood blocks. So one of the things that I wanted the students to really see was what they created yesterday, so that they could understand that they actually created an ancient technique, which is called the shibori. And if they wanted to, they could actually transfer some of these techniques onto their t-shirts. But I see now they got it going on. They're doing it by themselves. I got a great group. Malika brought me to Dixon. And she had been trying to get me to come to Dixon for years before this project came up. And I explicitly would decline all the time because one of the things that I was hesitant to do this was because of the dyes and the chemicals. So I decided to try using the indigo dye kit, which is specifically designed to work within the schools and with school kids. So after that, I said, well, I will take a chance and make this happen. This particular program is funded through Diasporal Rhythms and also the Logan Foundation, which provides funding for the Logan Center over at the University of Chicago. So you're looking at a partnership of, I would say, about 3 agencies that are involved. One of the things that I'm still trying to get accustomed to being called is master, because now Malika always calls me Master Young, and so now the students are calling me Master Young, and I said, that kind of has some connotations behind that. I had my first solo exhibition last year at Blanc Gallery. And Blanc Gallery is a gallery that is housed, that's located in Bronzeville on 44th and King Drive. When I walked into that gallery 2 years ago, I walked in and said, this is where I want to show my work, because it had the space, it had the height, and it had the light. And so in doing that, the person who really brought me on board was James Britt. And James Britt was the curator at that time for Blanc Gallery. Now, James Britt had come out to my studio, which I have on King Drive, and it's under the umbrella of the Creative Room. So I have a studio space, and that's where I create the majority of my personal work in terms of my studio practice. So when he came and saw my work, it was very interesting. I had a lot of my work hanging on a clothesline outdoors because it was for an event called an open studio. And he said, well, is this all the work that you have? I said, no, come inside. I said, you will see more. And so when he saw all of the work indoors, then he was impressed. Didn't hear any more from him until I went to an event at the Stony Island Arts Bank. And when I went to an event at the Stony Island Arts Bank, there was a lecture conversation with the new director of a gallery in New York and also Theaster Gates. So when the lecture was over, oh, and in terms of the gallery, that was the Studio Museum. So she was the new director, and after the event was over, James Britt just walked up to me and said, "Are you ready to exhibit?" And I said, "At Blount Gallery?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, yes, just give me a year and I'll be ready." So they did it, and it sort of like spearheaded my career from that point on. Don't let it drip in. Okay, slowly feed it in. Slowly. Slowly. Because you don't want anything to splash, because if anything splash, then you're letting oxygen into the dye bath and you're ruining the bath. That means your fabric won't turn blue.
What color would it turn?
It won't turn nothing, because you've ruined it. Okay, let it go. And you're going to keep it underneath the water.
But it's air probably on the inside.
You got to use both hands, because you got to manipulate it. And for the other ones, you want to make sure all the air is out.
Oh, now I see. Oh boy. The air's in the middle of it. That's what it is. Uh-oh.
Now you all are going to do a minute. And I'm going to time it. So that'll be 60 seconds. Oh, she's counting? So when you're taking it out of the dye, you want to do it slowly and not let anything splash back into it. Got it? Yeah. Okay. Now we'll take this outside and spread it out on plastic in the back. That's so it can start. Remember how you did that? So lay it on the plastic. Okay, now you're going to take it in the back and lay it out on the plastic so it can oxidize. And that way it'll turn blue. Next.
Marianne.
Next.
Hey, that's already
Inside is green though. What about the inside? What about the inside of the shirt?
How much no that?
No, you have the key. You want me to turn it over?
See how that's turning over there?
You want me to turn mine over?
I turned mine over. Spread it out.
Bruh. Little. On the inside.
There you go. Flip yours over.
Don't.
Hey, what do we do with the bucket?
Keep it here.
Huh? You need to go out there and rinse your bucket out. So do you like the way it's turning out? Great. I don't hear anybody saying, "Oh, this looks great." Yeah, see? Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness, yeah, she put more stuff. Look at that, see?
I think mine looks how beautiful. I love the way mine looks. Ow, why do these things keep off of me?
The rubber bands and, not the rubber bands, the marbles and plates and the rocks.
Where did everybody go?
Yeah. Huh? I don't want you to put the wet ones in with the red. Put them in this box. Okay, class. Listen up. Hello. Listen up. You're going to leave your t-shirts here in the dry, but you can take it in there. And you have instructions on how to process it.
have a question for you. How come you in this room?
Well, this is where we do our art projects here, where we learn how to dye.
Okay. Well, fantastic. So are you enjoying the program?
Huh?
Are you enjoying the program?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Kayla Morgan. I'm in 6th grade and I go to Dixon Elementary. I'm here because I like art and I like to try new things every once in a while.
My name is Essence Gill, and my experience here is that it's really fun and I really enjoy it. And it was really fun making all this stuff.
All what stuff? What did you make?
We made head wraps,
Okay.
and we're still working on the t-shirts. We're gonna dye them today.
Okay.
My name is Nia and I like that the program, it allows me to learn how to create different clothing designs. My name is Mariana and I like how we get to make stuff and paint it and look at the cool design that they made. My name is Imani Gray and what I like about shibori dyeing is that how it's very interesting and how you can make your own designs and express yourself through your dyeing and through the piece that you're making. My name is Kendra Clayton and I really like the program. The reason why I like the program is because I think it's very important to know like what design or like the style that you like and I always want to be and it's my first time here.
My name is Logan Walker. What I like about this program is that it's fun and I feel like tie-dyeing is also fun too.
Okay, my name is Kelsey and what I like about this class is that we get to try different things and learn different types of art.
Okay. My name is Taylor, and what I like about the program is that it's very fun, and I really like art, so I kind of, relate to it.
I think Master Mary Young, Shibori Master, was nice enough to come and give our students a workshop, and I think it went well, extremely well. The children learned art and math and science.
Yes.
This was an interdisciplinary project where art really is part of everything that the students do. So they had an opportunity to understand and see the science of it with the dyeing, changing its colors, using math, using geometric shapes and pencil, rulers and different types of shapes. And I think they had a ball.
And also, you love how chemistry.
Yes.
The chemistry part takes place when they are actually using the dye bed, and that's where art meets chemistry. Because once you have the dye in the bag, you have your fabric, and then it comes out of the bag, and what happens? And what happens? Ms. Jackson?
Once the dye comes out of the bag, there's a chemical change. And the chemical change turns the shirt from green to blue, and that's when it oxidizes.
There we go. There's the chemistry.
So that's the oxidization.
Great. I enjoyed working with you. And you should be proud of yourself. Great job.